Hi, I'm Sonny Mannon. Let's talk Bagua walking. So if you've practiced Bagua, if you know about Bagua, you know that Bagua is built around the concept of walking, or at least walking is one of the main practices in Bagua. So I've been fortunate enough to train in 2 different family styles, Cheng and Liang style, and 4 different lineages of Bagua. So I've trained so many different Bagua stepping drills, and they're all fun. They're all worthwhile, they're all beneficial. Remember, they're all tools to train our movement. So we want to look at how we're training, the method of training, what we're trying to pull out of it so we can get the most out of our Bagua, because Bagua is an art that just keeps giving back to your body method if you train it correctly. So what we're going to work on today is Bagua Serpentine stepping. Now, Serpentine stepping, like snake stepping, is what they mean. Another name for it is snake stepping. Follows a very specific kobu, bibu pattern. And if you're familiar with those terms or not, I'm going to go over them here in just a second. Kobu and bibu are the terms we use to refer to our stepping in Bagua when we hook step or sweeping step. Okay, so when we're making a circle, when we're doing all of our Bagua movements, we're going to have these present, okay? Kobu, hooking step, closing step, curving step. Remember, we're working from Chinese. Chinese works different than English, so we want to not be so rigid with our translations. We want them to be expansive, not specialized, okay? So, and then bibu, opening step or sweeping step, okay? So these are pretty basic within our human movement. Besides this, we also have just extending the leg from neutral, right? From here out. If we're standing in neutral position, we take our first step, there's extension, reaching the leg out. We also have collecting. If my leg is back here, collecting in, right? We don't just go forward, you know what I mean? There has to be coherency within our movement. So it comes in and out with our Bagua stepping. This is what's going to elicit the proper patterns. So that's important to remember. Bagua has a lot to do with patterning. So we want to understand the movement and then get moving so that the body can help us code and pattern these things. So serpentine stepping. So let's take a look at the basic footwork. We're going to imagine, if you've seen the trail of a snake in the sand, it goes like so. So this is how we're going to be moving in a linear path using our extending step, kobu, and bibu. So without having any hands, then I'm going to show you how to put single palm, snake palm, and then maybe even a few others into this pattern. So right here. So I'm set up this way. I can pretend I'm facing this direction if I had my palms out. And so the first move is going to be bibu. I bi, which is that opening step. Then I'm going to closing step, and then shin, extending step. And look, I've switched, I've mirrored image on the other side. And then I repeat that, bi, shin. And there I am on the other side, right? I've serpentined around. So let me do that again from over here. So open, close, open, extend. Open, close, extend. Open, close, extend. Okay? And so that's what the legs are doing, right? Here we are in this position, open. But our waist is very important. How we twist and move our waist is really important in this move. So as we open, we're turning this direction. So my waist is turning. It knows I'm going that direction. And then I have to close, still going this direction, straight. Remember, we are subject to the laws of physics. So body in motion is going to stay in motion. So without bringing a counter force or a huajin, a transformative force for the Bagua people who understand that terminology already, okay? You're going to lose balance and maybe keep going this way, right? It's just very natural. You hit that angle. So as we do our serpentine stepping, when we get here, we have to be able to push back, and push, back, and push, back. So when we lock in, we're locked in, right? We're not leaning into the momentum that we're creating in our Bagua. We're using the momentum that we're creating in our Bagua to build strength in our movement, okay? So no arms, which makes it actually kind of challenging to do, a little bit easier to pay attention to perhaps, but a little more challenging to do. So from here, by, extend, by, extend, by, extend. Now, there's so many different ways to play with the movement of the feet. But I don't find it that useful in serpentine stepping. So if you're wondering, oh, should I be pointing my foot? Or should I lift it and extend it? Or should I don't know, pull it back and do something like this every single time you step? Nah, not for serpentine stepping, not for this one. Just keep it smooth, like you were roller skating, or like you were cutting this path. So you feel how the body is directing through the feet from the waist, okay? And so you start to feel your own momentum, which you're working with. And this is a really great pattern coming up from the ground to the waist that we can start to overlay some very classical Bagua movements like single palm, okay? So single palm here. And there's a lot of variations of single palm. I myself know like a dozen of them, and it's great to practice all of them. So we're gonna do a really basic version of it, focusing on the concept, wild goose leaves the flock, okay? Wild goose leaves the flock. So the arms are working together like a little flock of geese. And then here, it leaves and settles. Leaves the flock, settles. There's other concepts here we can wrap in here to make it a little bit, add more layers to it, but use what you need. We want to get past the analogy as quick as possible and just feel it. So, going back the other way, we can see how I can use the movement of the whole body to make this happen, right? It starts, here's the wild goose leaving, and there's our change. There's our single palm change. Right now, what would be considered the active hand? This one. And here's this one, hiding down here. Sometimes we call this position flower hidden under leaf, right? So it's sort of hidden under here. And so it's gonna bloom up and change. Now this one is in charge, right? And this one blooms up, wild goose leaves the flock, and there we are. And each time we're locking into a clear, empty full so that we have action here. We can feel the movement coming up from the ground through the body coherently. Okay, so there's a single palm. You can almost put any palm, you can put any palm. Remember, you study it, you work it. Don't think like, oh, I don't know how to do that, or I've never done that before. Just try it out, see if it works, right? It's Bagua. Okay, so what else other palms can we put on here? Snake palm. Here's snake palm. Snake palm, we start an opposing motion, a curling, coiling, and then back out, right? So the snake coils in, extends out, coils in. And so you notice how this motion is different than single palm, but what's happening down here is the same, right? So what does that mean for our training? It means that what's happening up this space has to communicate differently. What other movements do I like to put on this one? Phoenix circles the cloud. Phoenix circles the cloud is almost a counter movement to snake. Snake, we're going down below and back out, right? Phoenix, we're staying up here, and going up and over, right? So if snake is happening down here, phoenix is happening up here. So here, phoenix, wrapping over the head and down. Phoenix, wrapping over the head and down. And these moves can be done a bunch of different ways. We can do them big, or small. We can keep it in front of us, right? Really send it to the side. So you want to play with it. Once you start to feel the motion that you're creating in the body with this movement, play with it, right? We're looking to unlock a arc, an angle, a curve, a sensation of movement, not fixed points on a path. So we want to be able to open up and play with them a little bit. So one last one. This is another really great one to do on serpentine stepping. And this is a coiling dragon. This actually comes from Fu style Bagua, this kind of version of the movement. So from here, both arms coil and swim together. Like that. So there's our serpentine stepping, a really great Bagua stepping drill you can use to warm up, train the legs, train the waist, free up your movement, get a little bit more versatility with your movement. Remember, Bagua is started off as a very simple art, an art that was supposed to integrate and free up people's kung fu and get it deeper into their body. So, hope you enjoyed this. Check out the other videos we have coming out on Bagua and enjoy your training.